So that's my question. If we adopt this resolution and there's no amount to put in here, are they automatically gonna nail us for the $2,000?
Isn't that just their new plan?
It's just a new plan, but
Yeah,
that's where the new,
That's where the new money
that's
comes
where the new
in.
money comes in effect too, doesn't it?
I'm thinking it does.
How long does
I
this
know.
lock us in for?
I thought I saw 5 years.
Yeah. I think I see it too.
5 years?
So I think
Yeah, let's hold on to this and
you wanna
we'll talk to Chris and see.
It's, if there's anywhere we can add that dollar amount to it,
Yeah.
so. Okay,
We'll hold that and we'll do this next meeting.
well then I have nothing else on that. Fire? Mr. Bryan?
We had 4 runs until yesterday. Then we ran a whole bunch more.
Yeah.
We may not be caught up with those reports yet until a couple days. I think you get approval to go to the fire conference in Indy again. It's in April.
India.
Indy.
That's what I thought too, it's like.
If you went to India,
much?
India.
if you went to India, would it be one way?
Just you?
Yeah.
I'll move to let Brian go to the fire conference.
Admission and then hotel.
Indianapolis.
I'll second.
And yes,
I'd like you guys to pass a resolution to adopt the Knox box system for businesses in the township. A little bit about the Knox box system, that we would have a standard key that would fit every Knox box. You can open it up to residential too, where if we were to go somewhere, we wouldn't have to break in if there were a fire. You could use the key.
explain. Do they have, it's something
It's a-
similar to what the realtors use?
Yeah, it's mounted permanently on the structure,
Okay,
and
Now-
we'd have a key.
to open that up to get
Yep,
their
to
keys.
get their key out, to use their keys.
What's the cost of that per business? Do you know?
Some of it all depends on how big of a Knox box they put in. It's not gonna cost us as the township anything. We have the sole key that we would carry in the fire truck.
So okay,
So they would have to purchase the boxes on the
Yep.
buildings.
Yeah, they're about $150. We have them.
so
Is that what they are?
Yeah, about 150.
how,
I
how
got
safe are they? I mean, I guess that's my thing is, who has access to those keys? What would be the liability?
Our key will unlock every one of those boxes.
We'd have one.
And they'll have
yeah.
their keys inside the box that these guys can get to go into their structure.
Correct,
So
but I-
some of them
but-
have a passcode.
What I worry about
In
is
the
just
truck.
like the banks and in the credit card, on the pumps, how they can change things, and everybody's out there to try to get something. I guess how safe is that? Have we had any problems with any other that you know of?
I could do some more research, but
You know what I mean? It's like what other township that has that, or cities that have that.
we run them in Berlin, but I'm not gonna tell you where the key's at.
No, but you know what I'm saying? I mean, issues that they've had, cities or townships and other ones.
How about getting us more information, because obviously we gotta talk to Chris Maduri. We can't just say, yeah, we're gonna do this and make all our businesses do
Right.
that. So we gotta see what the
So the
legalities
businesses
are.
are going to buy the,
businesses,
Business would be required to buy the Knox box.
yes.
will be required or?
Yeah, that's what you would, yeah. So as a new
Okay,
construction
all right.
business in Deerfield
New
Township, they would have
construction.
to,
Anybody
Yeah.
from this
You couldn't
point on.
force the past people to do it.
no,
Okay.
they could opt into doing it on their own, but you
I
could,
mean, if
we
it's
wouldn't go out and
safe and
force
it's,
them.
if it's a safe thing where, that key, I guess if
I mean, there's all
what
kinds of
goes in the
different
wrong
ways.
hands of the wrong person, I guess what I'm,
So-
and that liability, if you get a disgruntled employee and takes that key and,
I'll check with the building department too and see what they,
well, let's get,
they're
yeah,
involved
let's,
in this.
Deerfield Farms would have been
What
prime
they've
because
had.
everybody was out of town when Deerfield Farms caught on fire. That would be a prime example.
no, I understand what it's used
But the
for and
liability-
why, but
but the
the
liability-
liability that would fall on
The fire
the township and the fire department.
But it would go in a safe box.
But
in a
he's
truck.
saying that everybody on the
You-
fire department.
You'd have to have a passcode to get in. You'd know who we got in. It's like the last
Each
four of
employee
your
has-
social, yeah.
so
And then-
anybody that opens up, gets a key, it's gonna record it.
Yep.
Okay.
Or they transmit a code over our radio frequency that opens it from dispatch.
Okay. Get some more information.
I would rather have it that way, where
Yeah.
dispatch is the only ones that can unlock that. Because again, how many people, you guys are pretty tight knit, know each other's social security numbers, this one finds this
I don't even know my
passcode.
dad's social security number, so.
I don't know it.
He's so old he doesn't even have one.
It's probably number 2.
It's number 2.
But, okay, yeah, let's table that and
Okay.
get some more information.
It's more, but we'll talk
Well, that's
to
what-
Chris and I'll
you
talk
could-
to the building department and see, because I know they've had involvement with it before.
Okay.
Because when they turn in blueprints stuff, that'll have to be included in the blueprints,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that's gonna go to the county and stuff, so.
We're just looking for it for the new dollar store over there. That's one of the
Yeah,
things you brought
yeah,
up.
we talked about that.
That and then the building that's going on down, beside the VFW.
And while we're,
What
on
building?
the building department, we have a new chief of building official, Charles Corcoran has turned in his resignation, the commissioners accepted it. Randy Roberts, who was the one before, is back at the head of it temporarily, so. I don't know what that means for everybody, but Charles Corcoran is no longer working for the county. That just happened, so.
Building department altogether.
Okay, anything else?
That's it.
Mikey?
Want to tell us about what, chili cook-off while we're here?
Oh, yeah.
How'd they
Who
go?
won?
He's
Dave,
gonna have to talk to you.
Lot-
about it.
lot-
You had a competition.
a lot of people show up.
We did well there, if you wanted to know that.
We had about
So did my wife
60 to
over.
70 people show up.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, we ran out.
Ran out of
before-
chili, I heard.
Yeah, we ran out of chili way.
That's like a record
but-
for us.
See, now, like
It is, 'cause
last year,
usually I
people
got
were
mine
taking
back.
half crock pots of chili home and everything. 'Cause
But every
we
year
did.
it grows, now you know.
Yeah, when I
Yeah,
pulled in,
this
I
year
couldn't
the
believe it
people
was
grew and
packed.
the
Double.
chili didn't.
Chili did.
Double the amount of people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
when I
we
Last
no
year the
pie.
chili grew and nobody showed up. Scott Simons won for the fire department, and Jody Berkey won for the.
Again?
president.
Jody, this is the first time
First
Jody
time
got in.
Jody.
No,
went
he
in.
won last year.
No, he was first time he was in.
No,
I
last
think-
year was.
It wasn't
Who
Jody.
was it?
Pam? No, because they
It could-
from
yeah,
what
it
I
could-
heard,
it might have
Pam
been
said, Pam, it was Pam and Pam had one, Jody had one, and they had one together, because they had the extra and they had it in one crock pot. And the extra ones together won.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, that's what I heard, that's what I heard from Pam, so, okay, go
I
on.
forget
Okay.
who won.
Very
Alright,
good.
so-
I'm glad a lot of people showed up, though. I mean, that's nice.
That's
there.
great.
Good.
How many chilies did you have?
10.
10. When I
10.
brought ours up, that made 10. Very good.
Okay.
You need to announce it more too.
And we put it all over Facebook, and it was on the sign, and it was in the paper. It was on the sign, and it was in the Ravenna paper.
You
I
know,
don't know
remind
how.
us at the meeting.
She don't get a
Okay.
paper, she doesn't go on
Right.
Facebook, she
Yeah.
doesn't go around the circle.
Yeah.
So you're just left out of the whole damn loop.
How'd you get here then?
I'll put a sign down for your house next year.
We're gonna graffiti the street.
We will start earlier
Do we
next
have
year, because
signs
we
that we can
tried
put out
we tried to
here?
throw it out all over Facebook among us, and I
Yeah.
think that did help.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I know I sent it forward to
Yeah.
stuff when we found out we were going. I didn't wanna send it forward at first till I knew we were going, because sometimes people get a little mad about that.
So the boating class is next weekend.
Right.
All right,
And you
throw
guys
something on
for that,
Facebook,
right?
and we'll
Yeah.
throw that out there too.
Yeah, we'll share it.
Throw it
We
on
can
there.
share
Sure,
it.
yeah, we're
Can share it.
on it already.
Oh, did you get us on for that one?
I did.
Okay.
All right.
No, I haven't seen it
Okay,
either.
Mikey.
Not a whole lot. We got the tanker fixed for them this week.
That valve
That valve, I went ahead and ordered a second one today.
for the other unit.
For the other side. Nothing seems to be leaking now, so we'll see how it holds up. I don't see that it'll be a problem. We went to spray class last weekend, or last Friday, that was a 12-hour day. So we're good for another 3 years on that. Haven't had any more funerals since last week.
The squad went to Sharp Jones.
Squad did go to Sharshones for a recall on,
Full death.
it was something to do with the DEF system again. There is a recall on the 450 and the 550, and it extended the warranty to 110,000. So, and it has something to do with it, some of that pollution stuff.
All right, so.
But that 450, we're probably gonna have to address that this summer sometime. It's gonna have to be deleted, or we're gonna have to put a new. It's cheaper to delete it than probably to take it to Sharshones and have a new exhaust system put on it, because it have to burn for about 45 minutes on our way home from the spray class, and it should never do
Didn't
that.
Rootstown do take theirs off delete it.
I don't know if Ritztown did yet, but I know Randolph already has. Somebody else, one of them other townships did too. They're just, these trucks idle and stuff like that, they just can't, they don't.
What about the ugly truck? What's going on with it?
Hopefully, I told Ed, the guy told me it'd take probably about, he had to end up having to send the new radiator back because it wasn't the right radiator. So now he has to re-core the original radiator.
Do they still have it?
Yes, he still had it.
Luckily.
Yes, and I told him
We
that
can't get a new one for that one?
for about $1,600 or $1,800 through International versus $800.
So this guy couldn't get us a new one like he had.
He
the other
thought
one.
it was marked and it should have been, he thought it should have been right, but for some reason, the radiator that he got me sat about
an inch and a half
3/4 to an inch and a half higher than what our original one, which put, hard to explain, but the intercooler for the turbo sits down and there's on that, and it wouldn't let that sit down, so therefore the hood would have never closed.
Couldn't retro at the bottom.
We tried, in where the big problem was, it sits in a cradle in the bottom, Mark, and the radiator wasn't, I couldn't drop it down anymore.
So we're just gonna have that one record.
So that one's gonna be record.
Okay.
So that should be all taken care of. Other than that, we went around, I think Deerfield lucked out, we didn't get near the trees down and damage. The biggest tree we had down was in Hartsville Cemetery, it fell off of the state property.
I took care of all your work, thanks.
No problem. It was over on the other side.
We
of
took
town.
the one on Western Reserve right before you got there, coming down the hill.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we come down, it's like, I can't get through, so we
So-
tore it off.
Like I said, I think we lucked out compared to, I know Porter Road in Edinburgh's still closed. I know there's a lot of townships around that still got some major problems, so we kind of missed the boat on this. Other than that, I did get some more quotes on all the tractors and New Holland did end up being the cheapest.
Is that the original one that we
That's the
did?
original one.
Did you
Here's
get
the
yours
problem.
back from?
Yeah, it's in there.
What?
If we can swing getting the PO by the 20, this is gonna change by $3,000 to $4,000 if we do not, the state bid goes up as of February 28th.
Okay, was Massey the one that came from
Bucky.
Bucky?
Yeah, he ended up being higher too.
Yeah.
Probably not
Not a whole
though.
lot, but if you look at the tractors also, they're not quite apples to apples. The New Holland will pick up about 1,000 pounds more than what the Massey Ferguson would, and it's on a 3-point hitch, and that's where my concern is, because that's what this
All
mower
right, so
is.
February 28th,
Yes,
which is,
2 days.
Thursday. It's not gonna happen.
yeah, you got it.
And that would end up, if we went that route and decided not to buy it in full, it's approximately 15 grand a year. And then you buy it for $1 at the end of the contract.
And that was minors.
And that's minus and that. I mean, I know it's short notice, but this is, like I said, it's gonna be another $4,000 approximately, is what the new state bid's gonna do. And you see too, I even had Steve, that's the national bid versus the state bid. The cheaper one's the state bid. Sometimes, year to year on trucks and everything, it swaps around. Some years the national bid that we pay into anyways when we bought the Kubota is cheaper than the state bid, but the state bid was actually the cheaper one as of right now.
By like a couple grand.
Yes.
I can't,
I can't.
Oh, I know,
can't
I'm letting
jump
everybody know
down
that
this
that's
one
where we
yet.
sit.
Okay,
We'll look them over and see when we get our money and see what kind of money because we got projects already planned and we gotta pay for and stuff this coming year. And before we,
thinking of roads, did we get a, email back from Evan at, Skornick from Army Corps of Engineers? Have you looked?
I looked today at the email and I looked at the following.
See if you see something in there, Evan Skornick at US Army. Because they were supposed to, once we faxed that over, that bid that we sent over to them, they were gonna do some shortcuts to do that. What they were going to do is buy the material. They cannot write the township a check for half of that project. What they can do is buy the pipe, the 304, the riprap, the.
And if they would email us back, it'll save us probably, well, what is it, 10%?
10%.
So
So-
it'd be 10% on that pipe, and that pipe's like 10 grand or something like, what was it, 8 grand for that
About
pipe?
eight
Yeah,
grand.
it was up there,
So take 10% off that, they would save even,
so. Anyhow, so that's what's going on, and I thought we'd have it by now, but I'll call Evan tomorrow.
Call
and
Evan
find
and
out.
see if he's on it.
Yep, because they, what's her name, from over in Pittsburgh, that we had a meeting
Yeah, I
with
can't
over at
remember her name.
Stanwell. She said she was going to, move it through real estate, because that's what kicked back last.
Right.
We'll go from there. All right. Anybody else? I see we have a gentleman back here.
Yeah, how you doing?
While we're in the road department though, while we're talking about roads, everybody is aware that the governor wants
Oh,
to
yeah.
increase our gas tax.
Yeah.
That's gonna happen. There's no way we're gonna get out. It's been a long time. However, now that they're telling us that this is for infrastructure, our roads are in terrible shape, they don't have any money to fix them, this and that, okay, fine, you know. Now the ODOT, since all these millions and millions of extra dollars are gonna come in, ODOT has decided they wanna put electronic signs on every state highway in the state of Ohio so that they can change the speed limit according to weather conditions. If they wanna flash it up there that it's now 55 instead of 70. They already do that on the turnpikes and stuff. Quite frankly, I'm gonna call bullshit on that. They said they needed this money for roads, for infrastructure, repairing them. Now they wanna spend millions upon millions of dollars buying electronic signs.
High-tech
I'm
signs.
asking everybody in here to call our state representative, John Eklund, call Randy Kleitz, or our state senator rather, call Randy Kleitz, our state representative, and say, bullshit. You need the money to fix the roads. Now, all at once, ODOT sees all this money coming in. Now we're gonna buy toys and trinkets and stuff. Buy some portable signs and put them in the districts, and if they wanna change the speed limit, drag them out there and light them up.
Like they
They
do now.
wanna spend millions upon millions of dollars to do this. And they never said this until they know we're gonna get a gas tax. So, that's not right. We've already got a state highway patrolman sitting every mile and a half along all the interstates and everything to control the speed. Get rid of the state patrol and then put your damn electronic signs out, but don't do both. I mean, I'm upset about this. All day long I've been hearing this in the radio that ODOT is pushing for this. They really want it. They want the authority and the permission to do this. No. We've got speed limit sign posted in every state route in the state of Ohio. Help us out, everybody that you can. Call our state senator, call our state reps, voice your disapproval of that. Okay,
Phone call, email,
Randy
you
Kleitz
know.
has her cell phone out there
Yeah.
for anybody that wants it.
please try to help out in that. I mean, that's just not right. That they know the money's coming now. Instead of fixing our roads, now we're gonna buy new toys.
Yep.
Come on.
Well, let's go, while we're in this real quick, we'll go about the general fund. We'll go about the
Okay, and
the
now,
$2 billion that Kasich had taken away from the schools, the townships, the cities.
Over
So
the
he could
years.
get his $2 billion war chest, rainy day fund. Now they're talking about, Otarma's.
give it some
Right.
of it back to the counties and to
Otarma has got like HB 57, I think they're bringing up, but nevertheless, they want to give some of that money back. Now, tell them.
now, when all this money was taken from us, it was taken from everybody's general fund. Okay, you can use the general fund in the road department if you need to, but you can't use the road department money in the general fund. You can't do it. Well, now the state's decided, well, we're gonna release some of this money back, not a lot, but some of it, but we're gonna put it in everybody's road department. No, you took it out of our general fund, put it back in the general fund, you bankrupted everybody, put it back in our general fund and let us use it where it needs to be used. If the roads need it, then we can use it. So that's another thing while you're talking to the senator and state
34% of
rep.
our budget.
I think it's HB
Let's take it
57.
out.
Yeah, so,
I think it says.
so that's their brilliant idea now. We took it out of the general fund all those years, but now we're gonna put it back in the road fund. The general fund, we're broke. I mean, every township's broke. Come on, put it back in where it came from.
So you guys have all a meeting, right? The townships
Yeah.
are getting together?
Yeah.
Yeah, so. Okay, so that's out. Yes, sir.
Yeah, thanks for having me out. With American Fireworks Company, I put together some pro for
Come on down.
you guys. So I put 5 of them together.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm with the American Fireworks Company. We're based out of Hudson, Ohio. We've been in business since 1902. So I represent the 5th generation of the company. We're on about 115 years. And we had acquired some property out here and are looking to put some storage magazines out here
Okay.
for our facility. We're headquartered out of Hudson. We've been at that location ever since 1902, so for a long time. So we try to be really, really, really good neighbors from that standpoint. We're fully put everything out there in the beginning, so we're not trying to do anything sneakily or behind anybody's back. So first, when we came apart, we gave a call to Brian, and then Brian said, "Try to get in touch with Cindy." So I called Cindy. She said, "You guys had this meeting tonight, so that's why I'm here." We looked at Deerfield because there's fireworks here in the past. We had no affiliation with any of the other fireworks companies that are here or were here, but the property came about. It's kind of perfect and fit our need. So I put together kind of like what we would do, some facts about the kind of storage. We're not going to be selling fireworks out of here. We're not going to be really distributing anything. It's overflow storage for our facility out of Hudson. We do both retail and display. The product that'd be stored out here is for our display fireworks shows. And we've just run out of space in Hudson and can't find any property closer. So, but just to give you a little background, so the fireworks that we store out here would be 1.3 G, which would be the explosives. It's considered a low explosive. It's not a mass explosive. The storage would be in steel Conex boxes, shipping containers. I actually put a call into Portage County. Cindy said that's who we'd have to go to in regards to for permitting. If they had any requirements from us from that point. So I got off the phone today with William over there, and he had mentioned that they really don't have any jurisdiction over something like this since there's not going to be any occupancy permits, that we're not going to be distributing out or selling out of there. So he said for the Conex boxes, the only thing with those is he'd want us just to make sure that they aren't like contaminated by any means. From that standpoint, if there was like an engine that was in them before, like a diesel engine that was running out, or if we were to modify them, like cut windows into them, or anything like, which we wouldn't be, we'd buy them right out of the shipping yard. From there, and then the property that we acquired, distance a table from a neighbor, you need about 300 feet. These magazines would be further than 900 feet, so 3 times the distance from anybody else's house or property there. In order to do this, we have to get clearances from the state and federal level. So state fire marshal would be in here with us, and the ATF would be. We have these types of facilities in 7 other locations throughout the Midwest. We have them in Virginia, West Virginia, Michigan, Illinois, Maryland. So we've done this a bunch and haven't ever had an issue with a facility like this. It'll be fully insured, $10 million insurance policy on this property. It'd be all under surveillance cameras. We'd have employees out here every morning doing rounds on them, that kind of thing. So
I see a 6-foot fence. Wouldn't an 8-foot fence make a little bit more sense?
we could. I mean, 6 foot's what the state calls for. State doesn't call for any chain link or barbed wire on the top of anything. We'd be requiring barbed wire on top of it. From that standpoint, really, a fence is a lot of the times a deterrent. If someone wants to go through the fence, they're getting through. It's not really. If you're gonna haul boxes out, you're gonna cut through it. So it's more. We found it's more of a deterrent standpoint. So having that chain link and the barbed wire piece of it, it'll all have top rails, so 9 gauge. Would be heavy duty, but then we'd also be, the facility would be monitored with like 20-some cameras. Every building would have a camera on it, that kind of stuff.
So how many boxes?
It'd be a total, if we did it all at one time, it'd be a total of 24.
24?
Yes. They'd be pods of 2, so 12 pods. If you go to that second picture,
Yeah,
you'll see 2 of them there.
right,
We call that a pod, and there'd be 12 pods of 2.
okay.
We wouldn't put those all out there right away. You'd be probably out the gate. We'd be looking at like 6 total.
Well, I'm sure you have to go through state fire marshal.
Yep.
Through our fire department.
Yep.
There's some regulations.
Exactly. And then also federal, so ATF as well. So every one of these magazines would actually be federally pinned by them, GPS pinned by ATF. So if we'd move it 5 feet, we have to call them and let them know we're moving it 5 feet to the right, or 5 feet to the left, 5 feet to the right. And so prior to any box of product being stored out there, they come out and inspect everything beforehand. And then I put the permit that we have to fill out for the state. We filled it mostly all the way out, just so you can take a look at it, Brian. And then what we would need from the township, just as a letter saying, hey, we are aware that this is going in and we do approve it. However, though, it's contingent on American Fireworks getting the state people out here, getting the ATF out here, and also giving you guys a copy of the insurance, that kind of thing, so you know that we're carrying insurance on it all as well from there. So, That's just a
So
dummy
you said
road.
900, it says here 950 feet to the nearest building?
Nearest occupied structure, which
That would be
could
across the street.
It's actually not across the street. So this property sits like 1,200 feet back. I think
And,
we've got
and
full-
Okay,
these
all right.
containers would be
It
how
backs
far
up
off the
against
road?
Beagle
They'd be
Club.
1,200. It's right
Okay.
behind the Beagle Club, actually.
Okay,
Behind the
so nice-
Beagle.
so it's past
Yeah.
Notman Road.
Yeah, so they're,
Okay.
It's gonna be between 14 and Yale Road, there's a big open field back in there.
it's like it's like 20
So
acres
you,
clear.
these containers
You know
would
where,
be
Deal Street
1,200
comes in?
feet off?
The road, main road.
Okay.
You would never even know.
Okay, yeah.
No one was here. No one would ever even know they were there.
There's an oil well drive that runs back there.
Yes, sir.
You're gonna put a road in the whole way back there and everything, huh?
Yeah, there's actually a road that goes back, but we would
Yeah.
drop gravel grindings, about 5,000 feet of them. in that area. So that yellow part would be the road we'd be putting through. That's not to scale. We have an architect come to do. Cole and Associates would come out and do an actual drawing of it and pen it. We give that to you guys to do it out in house. And like that Knox box thing, if you guys did implement it, we would utilize it.
So where the reds had, that's where your pods would
Pods
sit.
are, yeah, so each one of those red things would be 2 boxes. The Beagle Club on that map would be your left into the top. That's their property, so they have about 200 acres, I'm gonna say, and buffers that. And then honestly, what's kinda nice about that is the Beagle Club has a fence, chain link fence all the way around their perimeter, so it'd be double fence.
Have you
actually.
talked to them?
I have not, no.
I mean, are
We
any of
wouldn't
the,
be out there
any of the residents that are right there? Okay. Think that might be a smart thing to do, maybe?
Yeah, we don't wanna alarm anybody until it get, we definitely, once
Okay.
we're able to, we'd go and say hi and let them know who we are and.
Obviously, our first step is going to our legal people. We have to go to our county prosecutor's office and give them a copy of what you want us to
Just
sign
so,
and give
just
to
so
you.
we're in compliance.
Absolutely,
Okay.
100%, yep.
What's the benefit?
And then, and as long as the state and ATF and our local,
Because all it
chief,
is always doing a thing, it's selling nothing there, it's just a warehouse.
I will
basically.
get a copy up to our legal people the
I
next
almost
day or
farmed
two.
that
and-
ground, that's the only reason I
if you wanna
did that.
come to the next meeting,
I know
we'll
what
should
it
have
is.
answers.
Yeah.
It's, our meetings
know
are
where
the
Neil Smith
second
lives?
and the
Yeah.
fourth Monday
Across the
of
street.
every
Second
month.
and
I
fourth
farmed that
Monday.
bean field out front, and then there's an open field.
Yeah, so if you can,
Oh.
we'll have an
That's
answer for you.
But it's just 1,200 foot back there, I mean, right now, and all there is, there's an oil well drive that runs back.
So you guys do mostly of the shows,
Yeah, so we
bigger
do a lot
shows?
of displays. So like,
Technically, it's just.
Midwest out here's a
really- I
retailer,
don't know if
and
Right.
then
anybody,
the old
I guess,
retailer was on the other
grand
side.
scheme of
He
things.
actually had this same type of storage at his facility over here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it wouldn't be anything new that you hadn't seen out here in the past. But we've been doing displays forever, and we try to honestly be the quietest, nicest neighbor you'll ever see. You wouldn't even, if
So
we
would
didn't have
this
to,
be-
you'd never even know we're here.
Would you guys look at giving us a free display every Fourth
I
of
don't
July?
mind looking at something. Maybe Labor Day Memorial, not on the fourth.
Frank, have you talked to the
Always
state
a
fire
shade
marshal
stand
about
around.
anything about this yet, or
Briefly.
we only found out not too long ago?
I briefly talked to one of the agents that is involved with fireworks, and she knew nothing about it at that time. He said he's talked to a different lady there,
Okay.
so.
I talked to Ashley, which is in licensing. We deal with her mostly. We don't, so we're not going out and doing a lot of permitting type things for storage. We'll have, this would be our 3rd location in Ohio, after this, but, yeah,
See what
so,
you find out from them, so
Yeah.
by, and I'll give it to,
And we should have something,
Prosecutor.
the next meeting we'll have something.
yeah.
yeah. So you said the 11th, that'd be a Monday night?
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
okay, yeah, I'll try to get back.
6 o'clock.
Awesome, guys. Thank you
All
so
right,
much.
thank
for
you.
this. Yeah, any
Thank you.
questions for us, just let us know.
Okay. Okay, anybody else? I'm going to.
Hey, let me ask a question.
Yes,
What's
sir.
here on the ball field? Hadn't been brought up. for a long
Wait,
time.
ball fields, we're still waiting on the judge.
That's supposed to happen September.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
what they told us.
Absolutely.
And I
if
think
you want-
Randy's wife had, and actually Randy, you've seen the judge and.
I've seen the judge at the Christmas party for the courthouse because I was up there, and she goes, "Yeah," she goes, "We're gonna get on," and I, because I didn't want to be pushy, and I said, "Okay, well, great, I'm waiting," and we're still waiting.
It's all up to the judge.
What judge you say?
Judge Pren, Magistrate
Magistrate Pren.
Magistrate Pren.
P-H-R-E-N.
Yeah, so that's
If you want to call him,
it's ridiculous that we've had it in August.
She works under,
Yeah, I
she
agree.
works
I
under
should've
Lori,
been done.
she works under Lori Pittman.
It's been 6 months, 7 months.
Yeah.
yeah,
Still can't get a.
we want an answer too, but we can't do nothing until, I mean, we're hoping it goes our way. We're not gonna go screaming at somebody, say, hey, what's going on, hurry up. As soon as she tells us, we can get moving.
They're gonna work as fast as they wanna work.
That's exactly it.
And we've actually heard that she has taken up to a year before in other cases.
Yeah.
Okay, anybody else?
Quick question, are we permitted to get job descriptions for, like all the employees that work through to see what the job descriptions, like what they do? I know you give us like their pay grade and stuff like that when it goes in for, January, when you guys do the,
Yeah, as far as, like the fire department's broke down, it was EMT, fire, that's how that goes, based on your qualifications for what schooling you have. The road crew, that's just based on whatever percentage. It's like he's in charge of the roads, and anything to do with the roads. Timmy's in charge of the buildings and the grounds, which would be the town hall. So that's their job duty. So Timmy would be in charge of this building, the old town hall, the cemetery buildings, the grounds.
And when we had those positions available, we have put out, what we would want to see out of a client or out of a prospective employee.
Yes, we don't have anything description per se.
I don't think we
I can
have
tell you this
anything.
from what we used to
Basic
have,
descriptions.
from what we used to do to what we do now, we do a lot more in-house
Mm-hmm.
than send things out and have repaired.
The age on the summer help.
Like the ambulance, the tanker, normally in past, we would send that out and have it fixed.
okay.
Lawnmowers and things, we'd always send them out and have them fixed. And now we do more of that in-house.
We have
These
saved
guys-
a lot more money that way.
Yeah. These guys have done, like I said, the fire trucks alone, can you imagine
The
that
fire
was gonna
truck,
cost?
they just wanted $1,300 just for the valve itself through them. And we got it, me and Timmy done some shopping and got it over in Akron for $540 instead. And that's not even what they were gonna charge us to put it on.
Right.
So I
We
mean,
do a lot of that
So-
in-house
and-
now.
and-
So
versus
I
what
bought
we used
two
to.
the township bought 2 valves for less, and we'll replace both of them now for less than what we could have just bought one, and that ain't even them
And
putting
it's
it.
a good thing that we have because, 7-8 years ago, we had 34% more budget.
Yeah,
Well, again, it just,
I had to cut that old.
whatever they can do, we're gonna do in-house. If we have to send it out, or if it's a warranty thing like with the 450s or something, then obviously we're gonna send them out if it's a warranty.
Yeah, I don't got the equipment to plug them 2 new trucks in, but I mean, a lot of the other stuff we can still do
But-
in-house, I mean.
So that's kind of like their job description is whatever they can handle, whatever they're capable of fixing internally within the township, they're gonna do. What they can't, then we have to ship it out. Anybody else? All right, I'll make a motion, we adjourn the meeting and pay our bills.
Second.
Yes.
You see, the roads are getting bad.
Yes.
By-
Do you know I
Turkey got
patched them the
zigzag.
week before